Okay, well, we are season 11 and we are here to take over your meeting tonight. We're going to be
Woo!
having this
Oh,
thing.
awesome. Okay.
We are so excited. I'm excited to see everybody because I know my mentee. And so, yeah, this is awesome. We've had a great time and I know we're going to have an awesome time tonight.
Kilogram perfect.
Colon, gamma 162.2.
$284.9.
Now that we've got our weigh-ins done, we're going to do the standings for this week. And so here we go. Number 7, down 0.42% and down 1 pound. We have Miss Neela.
Yay!
Awesome. Okay, in 6th place, down 0.73% and down 1.2 pounds, we have Miss Jenna. Bravo. In 5th place, down 2.16% and down 4.8 pounds, we have Miss Jean. Did I say that right? Is it Jean? Okay, awesome. Okay, in 4th place, down 3.22%, down 7.2 pounds is Miss Amy. Bravo. Okay, in 3rd place, down 3.24%, and that's a total of down 7.8 pounds is Natasha. Bravo. We're getting closer. In 2nd place, I can hardly read my own writing, down 4.08%, and it's down 8.6 pounds is Janine. Congratulations, which means in 1st place, down 4.65% and down a total of 13.9 pounds is Miss Sarah. Bravo. Congratulations, ladies.
Thank
You've
you.
done the things, you've lost the pounds, and that's all it takes is literally just do the things that Carmen tells you and don't make excuses, right? She's very good at shooting down her excuses. And yeah, I really appreciate that about her. So obviously we are taking over this week and we are so excited. And this one is so powerful and so meaningful. Really has changed a lot in my life for sure. Our topic is life and death is in the power of your tongue. So the things that you are saying about your life and about yourself and about your situations really have so much power and effect over what your life looks like. This one is huge. And if you get this one thing that we're tackling this week, your entire life would look completely different. I can testify for sure. I used to think the bad thoughts, and not that I don't ever, but I've learned, like, once you finally recognize, wow, maybe that's not so helpful what I'm thinking. Maybe that's not so helpful what I'm saying. And let's try to say different things and see what the result is. Just treat it like a science experiment. Why don't I just try to say, I'm beautiful, I'm amazing, I'm capable, I can lose this weight. This is not hard. This is easy. All I have to do is change what I'm eating, right? Let's say different things and get different results. So, tonight we are talking about your words and what comes out of your mouth because life and death truly are in the power of your tongue. So, when I recommitted to losing weight and getting healthy, I did realize that things in me drastically had to change. I I can look back now and say, "Oh yeah, I can see all the things that I was doing that was causing the result that I was getting." Personally, I was working out like an hour and a half, 3 or 4 days a week, getting up really early to do it, killing myself at the gym. And then I'd get home, and by 10 o'clock, I was exhausted, didn't have energy to do anything else in the day. And so then I would just eat whatever. And I justified it because I was like, I can eat this. I just worked so hard, but it wasn't. It wasn't working out. I lost like 5 pounds in a year doing that. And then once I did this program, everything changed. I didn't keep working out that hard. I only work out the 30 minutes a day. I eat according to the plan, and it's working. It's like a miracle. So, but I really had to get rid of a lot of excuses. I had to quit saying things like, I'm too tired. I can't get up that early. That gallon, that's way too much. Like, there's no way anybody can drink a gallon of water a day. And I had to change what I was thinking about myself and then saying about myself. So, no more old words while trying to become a new person. It's literally like shooting yourself in the foot. So just take a minute and think about the kinds of things that you say to yourself about your body, about your ability to lose weight, about whose fault it is you are the way you are, the blaming, right? Because we all have really good excuses, and excuses are well-planned lies. So if you really dig deep, what are you saying about yourself and how are you sabotaging yourself? And I had the thought of, if some stranger or a friend were to say the things to me like I used to say to myself, like, number one, I'd want to just knock her out. Like, how rude. You're a bully. Like, how could you say those things about, are you sure you should be wearing that? Like, I can see your love handles, the kinds of stuff we say to ourselves in the mirror, right? It's so rude. I would take her out, honestly. I'd be like, look, you want to go outside? This is not right. And imagine if somebody was saying that about your best friend, like literally saying those things out loud. Like, I know sometimes friends can kind of, be brutal to each other, but it hurts too. Like, sometimes it's play, but sometimes it really has an effect on how you think about yourself. So, negative words are like a glass ceiling and a barrier to your success. You cannot speak negativity and expect to live a positive life. And that can be such a big boat to turn, because if you've lived your whole life speaking a certain way, believing a certain way, like this is the biggest thing to change, right? Because when it changes up here is when it's going to come out on the outside, and you'll be able to see it. Others will see it, but it all starts in your mindset. Your brain does not know the difference between a truth and a lie. It only knows what you tell it. And I know Carmen tells us that all the time. And I think it's finally starting to sink into my own. That's right. I can teach myself what I want to happen in my life by saying different things. If I don't like what I've been getting, why don't I try something different? What you speak becomes your truth, and your actions follow your words. So what you're saying, like, here's an example. Yesterday, I told the group, I am going to meal plan, y'all. I'm having to say it out loud so that I will actually do it. And by golly, if 100 things didn't happen that tried to stop me, and I was like, you know what? Come hell or high water, in the middle of this storm, I'm chopping veggies. And by golly, I did it. And I didn't do it perfect, but I got in there and I got my knife and I chopped my veggies, and my kids ate half of them already. But that's a different story. I did the thing. Because I feel like also, like, when you say it out loud, you're making a commitment, a verbal commitment to yourself and to the others that hear you. Like, oh, are you really going to do what you said? Yes, I am. Perfect, not perfect. I'm doing it.
Alrighty, so I'll go first. And when we got to the topic of, life and death is in the power of the tongue, and it's something I've heard all my life. And it really hit me in the area of being tired. And I've talked about that. I've gotten so much better. I'm still working on it, but I'm not where I used to be. And so little background, I have 4 boys. 4 boys and a little girl now. And, I just wear multiple hats, and I was pregnant throughout our season. So you kind of get the, the little leeway of, oh, girl, you're pregnant, sit down, put your feet up and just eat the myth of eat whatever you want as well. And no, that is a lie. I'm not as tired as I am saying. I'm tired because I'm saying that I'm tired. It's just one of those things, especially in the mornings. This is something I really had to overcome. The endless wake. I was Our season mostly happened throughout the summertime. So the kids are out of school. I'm home. We're not the hustle and bustle of waking up early in the mornings. I can create my own schedule because I can't. So the endless scrolling in the morning, and it's like, now it's time to work out. Oh, I think I'm tired. No, girl, you're not tired. The energy that you had to work out, you expelled endlessly scrolling while laying down in bed. You're not tired. Get your butt up. So that is, I'll say that's something that I really had to overcome. It's like a lotus flower, and it was like in a trance, in a daze, and I really had to put my phone down and realize that I'm not as tired as I think I am, as I say I am. I'm using that time to do other things, and then now I'm allowing myself to believe that I'm tired. So I did listen to my body. There are some times where I was tired, but differentiating being tired and being lazy, there was like a blurred line for me for so long. And when I was pregnant, in the past, that's when I've gained 50, 60, 70 pounds. This is the first time the scale didn't go up. It went down and kept going down, and it's going down. So it was just reframing my mindset. And because I had to fall. This is something Carmen says, and it's so true in weight loss and in life. You have to fall in love with the work. So, because when the excitement and the newness of all of this wears away, you're left with the work. So, that's something that I really had to just overcome and learn. And let's see here. The thing that I think really helps me is I'm a visual learner. So being specific with my goals, something else Carmen says is, nothing becomes dynamic until it becomes specific. So I have my goal written down on my wall. And so that seeing my goal and seeing my vision board allows me to 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 put myself where I want to be. So mentally, I'm there. I'm waiting for my body to catch up, in other words. So that also helps me to speak life because, when I wake up in the morning, there are some mornings now I'm feeding every 2.5 hours. I don't feel like it sometimes. So now, this is another test I'm overcoming. Now it's not the summer chill of not wanting to, get up and do stuff. Now it's oh, I'm tired from feeding every 2.5 hours. But to be honest, I'm not as tired as I thought I would be. So I do have a lot more energy now. And, it's mostly because I'm fueling myself with the right foods. So I'll say those two things, just having a visual of where I'm gonna be, having my goal, my specific goal. I just have my goal number written down in front of me. Every day I wake up, that's what I see. So it allows me to just speak life and positivity to my situation. Because, sometimes the flesh is weak and you can forget things. You can forget your goal because you get into the hustle and bustle of life and life happens, lives. But when you see your goal, to me, it helps me speak my goal, see my goal, envision myself there, and be there mentally and waiting for my body to catch up physically.
Nice to meet all of you. I don't think the episode's out, but eventually it will be out. So few examples. And another thing that I think Katie, you said that you can't have a positive life with a negative mouth. And so it's quite an oxymoron if you try to put those together. For me, one place I struggled, if you go back and watch like the episode, and I remember a previous episode where we were like, what do we work on? And I specifically mentioned like my kids, my husband, my family stuff. And I would say things like, I am so mad. I am so mad right now. I'm so frustrated. Like, and I felt like because I was like saying it out loud, and because I was acknowledging it somehow, that it was okay. And that's not really conducive to changing. And I was like, well, how can I change my attitude to those kids, not be as frustrated? And it's simple. You have to, first of all, not get to a point where, you're so upset. Like, Carmen talks about triggers, right? What am I going to do when I get triggered? Let's not get to a point where I'm like exploding. I say things like, I'm content. I am patient. I love you, child. You are an obedient child. You want to please mom. You are inherently, they are good. They want to do good. They don't want to do bad. And it's being very intentional. This isn't something that's gonna just like all of a sudden inspire you and you're gonna be like changed overnight. You have to put intention into it. Like just like this entire transformation, we have to put in the work. And so saying things, like I am content, I am a happy wife. I married this man, for heaven's sakes. Like I do love him. Sometimes I want to punch him, but that's another story. So just saying things that I do truly believe. But putting it out there, like Katie says, kind of making that commitment out loud really helps change that mindset. When you tell your brain, hey, listen, this is what we need to be believing versus, other things. At work, I would classic, I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted. Literally, guys, if you know my life, it was exhausting. It is exhausting, right? But you do start acting like it. You do start acting like you're so tired. I'm on my 5th cup of coffee. I'm like, and you're just like dragging and, and another thing I would used to say is, I'm so confused. Oh, I'm so confused about this. And I mean, I know I can be a little bit dramatic sometimes, but it was almost for like theatrics, right? Oh, I'm so confused. Like somebody help me, like being helpless. Well, guess what happened? Like people would come to help me and I realized they're more confused than I am. And I started being treated like I was a confused person. Folks, I'm a bright cookie. I am quite intelligent. I am not very confused. Why am I saying this? And then when they're acting like, oh gosh, we got to get Solana some coffee. Like she's so tired. Like, let her go home early. Like it wasn't as great. It's not something to be proud of. And I wasn't proud of that. And so I had to stop. Like after our episode, I was like, no, enough. Like I am not tired. I can work insane amount per week. And I was totally fine. And I do not say ever, I'm confused. I am not confused. I truly am not confused. First of all, I say things like, I need to prioritize some more time here. I might need to, step away for 30 minutes to complete that. Hey team, let's, huddle, figure out we're not on the same page regarding this procedure or that memo. And so it does change your mind. I am very capable. And saying these things isn't like somehow deceptive. It's just training that mindset because it's very easy to complain, right? And at work too, I'm like, guys, we have customers and it's like some customers think they're the only customer on the planet. Well, before we could literally talk all day about a situation, XYZ happened. It's very dramatic, as you can imagine, but it's all very negative. And so even saying like, they're little friendly reminders, hey guys, close the topic. Let's move on. Let's talk about, fantasy football or The Bachelorette, things they like to talk about that changes team morale and just the whole atmosphere of like, the environment. This happened in my workouts. I mean, I would literally be doing my workout, and you guys, I don't know if you're familiar with Autumn. I know like Janine is, Autumn would be talking in the background, and I'm literally saying this out loud. I'm not like exaggerating. I'm like, I can't do this. And then I hear O'Quinn like right here. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And so like changing it, changing the trajectory of your thoughts, like, hey, I might need to modify. Maybe it's that time of month. Maybe I didn't get enough sleep. I got to go lighter on the weights. I will get through the workout. Autumn said something, it was really good. She's like, something about the relief of stopping is just never as good as, finishing the workout. So, maybe it's not as a, hard workout, but you get to the end of the workout. And then nutrition. I would say my husband, bless him, he would be, eating things that are off plan, and he would always offer it. You want this? You want this? You want to try some of this? And I'd be like, oh yeah, I want it so bad, but I can't. I can't. Well, actually, let's flip that narrative around. This is my decision. This is my choice. I choose not to eat that right now. It is not aligning with my health goals. I want to get to a goal, right? And we all sent in our why video, and it does help to rewatch it sometimes, how desperate we were for some change, for someone to really help us out. And it does help. It's a very much so mind over body, right? I'm choosing, it looks great. Your pie, cookie, ice cream. He loves ice cream. It looks amazing, but that's just, I'm choosing not to eat that right now. It's not on plan. And owning it, not just giving in to cheat, and it's a choice, and we're choosing and speaking that out loud. Like, no, I'm that's not on plan, and I'm not going to eat that today. And then my last comment, I briefly want to touch upon this because this was like somehow a slight mental obstacle for me to say things that I perceived were not true, right? To say things that aren't really there seems kind of deceptive, right? It's, it's not there. So why am I going to say it, right? And I know some of our cast members are, have a faith, we read the Bible. So I just was struggling with that. I'm like, how do I speak these things and not feel like a hypocrite, right? Like, am I really content? So one day I just really did have a revelation. A lot of what we read in the Bible is affirmations, and it's a lot to do, I think, out of all of the examples, a lot of it has to do with how we talk to ourselves and our self-affirmations, and really encouraging ourselves first, so we can, that encouragement and that positivity and that life can overspill into other people's lives that are around us. And so, like, for example, right, everyone knows this verse, like, this is the day that the Lord has made, I will be glad and rejoice in it, right? It's like a little song. Well, I will be glad and rejoice in it. I will be. So I will be when? Now? Like the next minute? The next hour? Tomorrow? No, I will be. I am happy. I am glad. I am joyful. I will be now. And it's little things like that, like a lot of, you'll see, like, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. That alludes to, you are beautiful. You are gorgeous. You are made in this amazing manner, own it. It's not like silly or somehow prideful to speak, promises of God into our lives. Like, I am loved with an everlasting love, right? That's a promise. It's true. Regardless of whether I feel about it or how I feel about it, it is a truth that I believe in my life. Or I am strong and courageous and not afraid, right? Because truly, if that's what I believe in my life, that is a truth. I am content in all circumstances. And realizing that these things that I claim to believe, it doesn't make me a hypocrite. I'm speaking life, I'm changing that mindset. And I know Quinn says, capture those thoughts. I reject that. Oh, I reject a lot of stuff lately, guys. I reject that. I reject that. I'm not accepting that. So, you catch it once you intentionally put more time and effort into it. And it's wonderful. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect, season 12. But I am being much more intentional, and your mouth needs to align to what and who you want to be. You guys got this.
Hello. How's everyone doing? My name is Angela, as she just said. I am 40, and in the last, however many weeks it's been, I lost count now, I've lost 41 pounds. Let me tell you, the weeks go by really fast. So wherever you're at and wherever you want to be, I would say just take it one day at a time. Because really, truly, if you just follow the program, you will get where you need to go. And I've got plenty to go, but as far as life and death lying in the power of the tongue, certainly that's been something that I have encountered in my life many times. I found that if you look back, you know how people say when it rains, it pours. If you look back on your life and you think about times you were in a very positive mindset and you kind of had that energy flowing, things sort of felt like they were going right. And usually for me anyway, it was going right in all aspects. So like my weight would be right, my money would be right, etc. And when I allowed myself to start thinking, they say power of the tongue, but it's also like power of the mind. It's what you're saying to yourself. And when I allow myself to go down that negative road, things started to kind of all go in a negative direction, including my weight, including my, finances, whatever, all of it. So I really do subscribe to this. Getting on the program and hearing her talk about it only kind of solidified that to me and reminded me, like, get your mind right. And hey, we all struggle. I still do. But telling yourself that you got this and knowing it and believing it is really the key to being successful. Even in this program, I definitely, when it came down to working out, when it first started, I truly did not believe that I could physically do certain things because I had gained so much weight so fast, lost so much muscle, and really felt weak physically. So, shutting that off and just kind of going for it and doing it was definitely a challenge. But I found very quickly that I was incorrect in the thinking that I couldn't way stronger than I thought and only continue to get stronger now. So I just I can't say it enough that this is something that you should really drill into your mind and believe it.
Hi, ladies. So for me, when it came to this topic, when we were going through our own challenges, what came to mind is I feel like most of us, right? Some of us are moms, some of us have careers, some of us have a lot in our plates. And I feel that most of the times we're always pouring into something, into someone, into everyone but ourselves. So something that I still struggle with it myself is believing in me, believing in my abilities of I can. So when I came to the program, I'm like, girl, I'm not going to finish this. You know how many diets I've tried? I've been on a diet since I was like 13 years old. What in my mind is going to tell me that this is the one, right? So, in working through all those phases that Carmen works through in the program, and it's something that I've said, it's like, holy, like I'm in it. Like, am I perfect? Absolutely not. Do I struggle? Absolutely yes. But just changing that mindset of, you can do this, Rosie. You got this. Like, you've done things that are a lot harder than eating some containers and, saying no to the junk and saying no to the partying and saying no to the alcohol and saying no to all those things. You've done things that are a lot harder than that. And it was just changing that mindset, changing that thing in me that I could do this. Like, I am made for this. Like, I am made for more. I've done a lot more. And it's just reminding ourselves, just like how we speak to our friends and how we speak to our kids. Like, we wouldn't tell our kids, hey, like, listen, buddy, that ain't for you. No, you tell them, you say, believe in yourself, push yourself. Like, you got this. You were made for this. And I feel that just speaking those things when you don't want to work out, like, oh my God, I hate this workout. No, oh my God, I get to work out. I am so happy I get to work out. My legs are hurting me, but it feels so good. Like, just having that enthusiastic, oops, sorry, just having that enthusiastic energy and being joyful, right? Being joyful of what we're doing and what we're doing. And we're doing it for us. Like, we're not doing it for anybody else. This is not for my husband. This is not for my kids. This is for me. So just reminding ourselves of, yes, you can do this. You were made for this. You were made for more. You have it in you. Like, we get to work out. Like, there's so many people in the world that wish they had the legs that we have, that wish they have the arms that we have, that wish they had the finances that we have so that we can do something like this, right? So why can we just like push ourselves to believe in ourselves and just do it?
So good. This has been amazing. I'll wrap up here. It says, so I am not tired. I am ready. I am not starving. My body is eating its own fat. That's a good plan. I don't hate working out, like Rosie said. I get to work out and be a strong mom and future grandmother. I love that point. Like, yeah, not everybody gets to move like they would like to. I don't hate vegetables. I'm building the body of my dreams and eating according to my goals. Your words must line up with where you want to go or in your head, and then act, and your actions will always line up with what you say.
Alrighty, ladies. Question for tonight is, what is one thing that you're currently saying to yourself, and how can you reframe it and make it positive?
First of all, is my weight loss goal. So I want to lose about 50 pounds, but sometimes I'm like, am I going there? Am I getting there? And what I make it to make it positive is like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna take it slow, like day by day. I'm gonna put the work in, do what it takes, and do my workout every day, and eat healthy, and like trust myself, like believe in myself for it. I think that's all.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Really nice to see all of you guys in season 11. You guys all look so vibrant and healthy and happy. So that's awesome. And congrats, Anya, on the most recent addition to your family. We heard about your birth. That was so sweet. So I have a lot of things that I tell myself. I mean, like a lot. So I've like made notes. I have a lot of work to do. But I guess for today, the one I would like to focus on is like the weight. I was like down a pound yesterday and not today on weigh-in day. And like I stuck to plan yesterday and I had a business trip this last week. So I, definitely tried really hard to plan and do well. But again, there was always like that voice in my head that I'm like, am I gonna fudge it up? Like, am I gonna do something I shouldn't be doing? But I like talked with my mentor, I talked with my group. I was like, all right, like I'm gonna do this. And I did. I had a lot of preparation. And then I came out of that with like a couple of mistakes that I tried to like be understanding about. And then I just stuck to plan like super hard when I got home. I was down a pound yesterday and I was really excited about Monday to be down a pound. And this morning I was not down. In fact, I was like a little up from last Monday. And it was just like, I don't know. I started saying all these things to myself. I'm like, oh my God, this isn't working. I'm also 18 weeks pregnant. So, like, I was just telling somebody in my Marco group, I don't know, but I've been getting these like pains where, you feel like you're expanding. Like, I just, it's my second pregnancy. So, like, I just moved to maternity pants. So, it's like, I could just be like in my growth phase right now. I don't know. Or it could be, but it's just like that number was so important to me. And then I like told my husband, it just like ruined my whole day. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like I stayed in bed for longer. I didn't want to do my workout. Um, and I just like, and my husband, he was like, hey, I don't think it's like the number we got to think about right now. Like, look at how strong you feel. Look at how good this has been for you. Look at the workouts you're doing. Like, so I kept trying to think about it. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I can't just look at the number. And I refuse to just look at the number because I am doing this program pregnant. In fact, I'm going to deliver 3 weeks before the program ends. So the whole time, pretty much, I'm going to be pregnant. And in the time when I'm postpartum and I hope to continue this work, um it'll be the end of the program, and so I'll be on my own for that. And I'm trying to be positive about that as well. But during the rest of the pregnancy, I just feel like I need to be really focused on how I feel. I need to be focused on how